and gentlemen, welcome to the Tea and Crystals podcast. I am T.
And I'm Crystal.
Ladies and gentlemen, and as always, we are so happy to have you all back with us for another episode of this here podcast. We've got some good stories to give y'all today, and I can't wait to jump right into them. Without further ado, Crystal, would you like to start us off?
I would, very much so. So, this one is from the Am I the Asshole forum, and it says, Am I the asshole for returning my homemade wife's birthday gift? Me. That was wrong.
Girl, I tell you, they just be typing. I feel like they type with their knuckles on Reddit. They don't type with their fingers.
I was about to
He
say,
put
I
it
see what
backwards.
he's trying to do.
Yeah, he put it
Okay.
backwards.
Okay, let me try this again. Am I the asshole for returning my homemade wife's birthday gift she made me and telling her I don't want it? I then went out and bought what I actually wanted. That's what he meant, but that's still not what he said.
Okay, I see where this is going.
Okay. This says, I need an outside opinion on this. This has been an ongoing issue that I've talked to her multiple times about. My wife makes less money than me, and she is the type of people who prefer to make her own gifts for people. The issue is she will do this even if the person doesn't want this. I will use myself as an example. For the past few years, she has made every single gift I have ever been given. No matter what I asked for, I get a homemade gift. Doesn't matter if it's cheap or not. Last Christmas, I asked for a few things that were new. I got a homemade scarf. I always get her stuff she wants. I have talked to her about this multiple times. My birthday was yesterday and I asked her to give me a book. It was only $25 and I sent her the link. I opened the gift and she made some homemade bookmarks. It wasn't even the type of books I like. They were made from fabric and I like the wooden ones. I must have made a face because she asked what was wrong. I told her I didn't want these. I made it so clear what I actually wanted, and I have talked to her so many times. I handed them back and went out to buy the book. We had a big fight when I got back. She claims I am being ungrateful and a jerk.
My God, my God. Oh, okay. These bad gift giver type stories are so difficult because it's like, I don't know if it's a child in you or whatever, but if you've just been around the type of environments where it's like, girl, be grateful you got something. You know what I'm saying? How people used to say back in the day a lot. But at the same time, girl, if I express to you that I don't want these motherfucking trinkets that you keep making me, I don't know if I can be nice about it past the third, fourth, fifth time. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now you're just being willfully ignorant. You know, by giving me a bookmark for a book, you know I want the book. So you telling me go get the book myself, but here's a little cardboard with a little drawing on it. Had fun reading your book that I didn't like. Now I get $25 is a little steep for a book, in my personal opinion. It must be a hardback. Must be a hardback.
As a book lover, unfortunately, that's kind of where books are at. Like, it's
I be
anywhere
getting my
between
books off of Amazon, so my shits be like,
I mean, to be
$11
fair,
and $16.
I was about to say, to be fair, I read, I have the Kindle app or whatever. So most of the books that I'm reading, unless they're brand new, I get them through. So I like borrow them. I rent them essentially. I read them and then it gets returned. So I don't actually buy the books. I just have, but yeah. When I do look at books, like when I went to go bring my nephew to the bookstore and I'm looking at these books, I'm like, what the fuck? They were like $25 or something like that.
You ain't lying though. Some books do run that high. But I don't think, and I got me a good book collection. I don't think I paid $25 for not named book. I don't remember paying $20 unless it's been a textbook, because them bitches just like $80 a pop.
80. Them things were like, those things were hundreds of dollars.
You ain't lying.
That's why I rented my textbooks.
Especially if you needed like labs or anything to go with them, girl. Like you talking a good
You needed
point.
that specific CD that we used once.
One time,
I hated the teachers. Damn.
well,
The ones who were like just
well, in
renting,
my
I was
day, it
like,
was a code. We didn't have this. I don't know what y'all were doing back then, compact discs, but we had codes in our textbook. So I'm just telling, it's speaking from my
yeah,
experience.
okay.
Yeah, sir. I really don't know what to do in this situation because this is his wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
I, I think you just gonna have to. You got two choices. You can keep talking to her about this and hope she change, or y'all can just stop giving each other gifts. That's because this ain't enough to sign them papers over.
Yeah.
You can still love her outside of what you get from her. However, if your love language is gift receiving and gift giving, it's gonna be tough, and you may build some resentment towards your wife. Just be ready for that, because it's coming. You gonna look at her funny, but I think in this instance, it's just best if y'all don't give each other gifts at all. Skip your birthdays, skip Christmas, do some joint things together. Go out for dinners,
Mm-hmm.
celebrate the holidays and stuff. But just don't, because you're never gonna get from her what you want.
Yeah.
And I too would not want no homemade bullshit every holiday season. I don't, girl, another hand knitted scarf. Like, I don't, what am I gonna do? Next thing, well, I'm not gonna, never mind, I'm not gonna say that. But make me another scarf, bitch, and me and that scarf gonna be dangling over the balcony, bitch. Like, play with me,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm with you. If anything, if you insist on you guys getting each other things, maybe make those things experiences from now on.
Yeah.
Like you said, whether it's something as simple as a dinner or a picnic, or it's something big like a vacation somewhere or something like that. I don't know, but either way, like, if she likes just crafting things and making things, you can give me that stuff anytime. Like, you don't have to wait for a special occasion to do
Yeah.
it. Give it to me anytime. But for the special occasions, let's make them experiences. Otherwise, let's not, because we're just disappointing each other. You're disappointed in my reaction, and I'm disappointed in what I'm getting. Because I agree. I don't think this is something you guys need a divorce over. But I also understand your frustrations. Because at this point, you probably feel like you're giving more than you're getting in some way,
Yeah.
in a materialistic way.
Yeah.
And it's not wrong to want those things. It's not wrong to want, certain things on your birthday or Christmas or something like that, especially when you're the one who's also giving things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because I think that, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Great.
experiences.
Perfect.
I ain't trying to
Moving
tell my
on.
business. So anyway, you pick it up. I was like, I don't even know why I started that sentence, because I'm not doing that. So our next story comes from my favorite subreddit, r/relationship advice, and it is entitled "My sister-in-law disinvited my wife from her baby shower after a joke, but my brother still wants me to go. I'm stuck in the middle." So, parts of this letter mention specific people that are mentioned in the story in a kind of a confusing way to read. So we're going to name OP Charles.
Okay.
That'll make sense later. Okay. Um, so Charles writes, I recently married the love of my life, and I'm super close to my brother. We always imagined our families being close too, until one single lunch ruined everything. So my wife and I went out to eat with my brother and my sister-in-law, who is pregnant and about to give birth to my first nephew. Needless to say, we are all very excited. Mid-meal, my brother, probably feeling sentimental, goes, Man, I hope the baby turns out to look like Charles. He was such a cute kid. Now, a bit about my sister-in-law. She's usually nice, but I like her. No, she's usually nice and I like her, but she's definitely type A and a bit high maintenance. Without missing a beat, she shuts my brother down. No, I'd much rather he look like you. A bit of an awkward comment, but my brother probably thought so as well. So he goes, no, seriously, we'd be lucky if the kid was like Charles. He was such a nice and cute kid. And then my sister in law doubles down. No, but you're so much more handsome. Before turning to look directly at me and adding, no offense. And now look, I wasn't deeply offended. My brother is a very good looking guy, so I get it. But who just says that out loud? My wife, who has been quiet up to this point, clearly found it rude, so she jokingly goes, well, as long as the baby doesn't look like insert sister in law's name, we should be fine. I chuckled. My brother laughed. Sister in law did not laugh. She immediately got pissed, glared at my wife, and went, what the hell does that even mean? That's extremely rude. We're not close enough for those type of jokes. My wife was taken aback, and so was I. My brother tried to say something, but she stormed out. My brother followed her, looking as confused as I felt. Fast forward to today, sister in law has officially disinvited my wife from the baby shower slash celebration. My wife says she doesn't even want to go, which, fair enough. My brother is devastated and really wants me to be there. Now, here's the thing, my brother adores me. He's always been my biggest supporter, and he wants me to be a big part of my nephew's life. He's having his first child, and this moment is really important to him. I love my brother too and can't see him sad like that. He says my wife and sister in law need to apologize eventually, but we shouldn't force it right now and to give them some time to cool off. He also thinks sister in law owes me an apology for what she said, but again, pregnancy hormones or whatever, so he doesn't want to push it yet. My parents actually side with my wife and think sister in law was out of line first, but they also believe I shouldn't miss such a huge moment of my brother's life and that we should cut sister in law some slack because of her pregnancy. Here's my issue. I don't feel right going if my wife isn't welcome. I want to support her, but I also know this moment means the world to my brother. If I go, my wife might feel abandoned. If I don't, my brother will be heartbroken. I feel completely stuck. What should I do?
Mm,
Tough girl. I know.
here's my thing. Let me play devil's advocate a little bit.
Okay.
Perhaps the way that by sitting here saying, oh, I hope he looks like my brother, perhaps she was in her mind, she's like, I don't want this baby to look like your brother because then people are going to think this is your brother's baby, you know? So
Mm.
she was trying to say, no, I want him to look like you. You know, you're my husband. I think you're cute, you know. And she just said it completely wrong. She did. I agree with them in all that aspect. She was in the wrong first with the way she said it. That's something that she should be apologizing for. That's maybe the only devil advocate I can say in terms of maybe that's what she was trying to say and it just did not come across that way.
Right.
Um with that being said, he might be making this bigger than it needs to be because what if your wife doesn't care? If this was me, and I don't give a shit about going to this damn baby shower, but I know my husband loves his brother and his brother loves him, and he comes to me saying that, you know, I'm like, be there for your brother. Me and her will figure our shit out eventually, or we won't. But either way,
Or
this
we won't.
baby is our family. We're gonna be there for this baby either way, regardless of her. Um, you know, because this is our nephew. This is our family. We don't have a problem. This is her issue right now. To be fair, this is her issue. She said what she said. I said what I said, and it is what it is. So you're saying you're like I'm stuck in the middle, but are you?
Are you?
Because does your wife I would understand you saying that if you're like, my wife doesn't want me to go, but my brother wants me to go. Yes, that's a conflict. You're stuck in the middle. But are you? Because your wife doesn't sound like she's going to give a shit to me. From the way you're describing her and how the situation went down, I just feel like your wife, you're not going to have to worry about it. I commend you for wanting for not, I don't feel comfortable. My wife isn't invited. I want to be with her. I don't feel right. I get that. But this is one of those instances where you're going to have to put that aside a little bit, because this is now about your brother more than anything, and your nephew. Fuck the girlfriend for right now. Like, whether or not you want to play nice to her in her face, or, when you see her and you're like, I'm here for him, thanks. That's up to you. You decide how you want to handle that whole situation. But if you want to be nice about it, I'm not gonna fault you either way. But as far as the actual conflict that's happening right now, I don't know if it's really a conflict right now like you think. Because I just, from the way you're describing your wife, I really don't feel like she's going to care. I feel like she's going to understand that at the end of the day, this is really more for your brother and your nephew than anything. She knows that the parents are on her side. She knows that the brother isn't excusing his wife's, not really excusing it. They're kind of doing it by saying, oh, pregnancy, blah, blah, yada, yada. But they're also saying she needs to apologize, just not right now. So things are just kind of on hold. They're, I feel like this conflict will work itself out eventually. It's really going to depend on her. Maybe once she has the baby and she settles, y'all can revisit it and she can see things with clearer mind. Maybe that's just her personality, where she's going to be like, no, I wasn't in the wrong. Then you can deal with that conflict when that happens, depending on how but for this instance, me personally, talk to your wife. If she gives the okay, like, this is for your brother more than anything. At the end of the day, this isn't her baby. This is his baby too. If he's going to be at the shower and he wants you there to celebrate him and his child, go be there for him.
Yeah.
That's
what is it about babies that be shaking families up? Like, these stories be like, somebody's pregnant and then everything goes to shit. Like, all the family relationship in the interpersonal relationship, like, they are in shambles behind this baby that ain't even here yet. Like, that's crazy.
I know. But it happens, especially depending on how people perceive their child's going to be in a family dynamic. Like, they think, if there's multiple siblings, they somehow think their kid's going to be the one that's like the shining child. And if it doesn't happen, they're like
resenting other people's kids because they
exactly. It's like, come on now, you're all supposed to be family. Like, girl, so
I definitely had a family member that treated me some kind of way because they thought that people looked at me you know what I'm saying,
right,
and it just, bitch, I don't know, this has always been my experience. Like, I don't know what happened. You're significantly older than me. Like, I don't know what your experience
I don't know what to tell you,
but it's never been mine, and I don't know why you're mad at me.
I can't help how people treat me, like,
because they like me, bitch. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I think I'm in agreement with you. I think for him, it's a bigger situation than it actually is. Just tell your wife, hey, it's 2 hours of your life. In the grand scheme of things. Now, if your wife was like, if you go to that motherfucking baby shower, nigga is up and stuck for us, then I get it.
Right.
Now you got a dilemma. But she already told you, I don't give a shit. Right. I ain't want to go to that raggedy bitch shit anyway. This is a win-win for you. Yes. Honestly. Go there, eat your little baby shower plate, and go on about your business. Go back home. Love on your brother. Let your brother love on you, and love on your nephew. Love on your wife. Yeah. You don't have to have a relationship with the sister-in-law. I mean, there's plenty of families where the sister-in-law is the pariah of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, good luck.
Good luck.
Had a conversation with your wife.
Okay. Moving on. This one is from Spilled Spiced Tea. So this is a repost. Like, this isn't the person who posted this in this forum. This wasn't their story.
Mm.
I guess that's what this forum is about. But this is from the Spilled Spiced Tea. And this says, my husband kept around another woman in case I passed.
I'm sorry. That's diabolical. Okay,
Yep.
let me hear it.
My 29 husband, 29, has kept around another woman. I am rethinking our marriage. We met when we were 11 and started a relationship almost immediately. Very young, I know. We got married at 18. My husband comes from a very religious family. My family and I are not religious, but this has never been a problem between the two of us. In my mind, he is culturally religious as he doesn't pray or attend mosque unless there is a religious occasion like weddings and funerals. But he does celebrate, I don't know if this is an acronym, EID. Um,
Yeah, I
so
don't know if it's an
I'm just gonna
acronym or
say
if it's
I'm gonna say the letter.
yeah.
But if it's an actual word, let me know how it's pronounced.
Yeah, let us
Um,
know.
but he does celebrate EID and he participates in Ramadan. I fast with him in support, and I've helped raise money for charities for the needy in his parents' home country. When we were 15, his parents found out about our relationship. They did not approve of me and immediately set out to find a match for my husband with someone that was of their faith and nationality. At our wedding, they brought this other girl. She was the opposite of me in almost every way, an ideal bride. My husband said it didn't matter as we were together. I was worried this would affect us, but my husband reassured me it would not. To be clear, my husband has always stuck by me and defended me against his family. On occasions, I didn't want to attend events or trips because of them. He has been very understanding. I supported my husband in a career that is very lucrative. His father wanted him to join his business and he was basically kicked out of the house at 16 for defying them. He lived with my family and then we moved in together. The jump into his new career paid off immediately, and my husband has been supporting me through my education. And on the side, I am a housewife. We both grew up poor, so his job has changed things for everyone. He also has helped my family and his family, including buying homes for them, paying for our siblings' educations, holidays, etc. His family, of course, forgave him, but his parents still treat me very coldly. His younger siblings are very kind, though, and I'm very close with his younger sister. I'm not close to his older brother and sister. I have had bad luck with my health. I won't divulge too much, but it was a childhood illness, now a chronic illness, on top of a lifelong mental health diagnosis. Last year was our 10-year anniversary, and my in laws brought the woman they wanted my husband to marry. She is still very beautiful, and I was told she had just graduated from a prestigious university in her home country. I brought this up to my sister in law in passing last week during a casual conversation, and she revealed that my husband had paid for the woman's education and was living in an apartment he had bought for her in the city where she lived. Their parents apparently have a good relationship with her. I was shocked. My sister in law tried to reassure me it was nothing, that my husband was just a kind man, but I couldn't feel comfortable with it, so I confronted him. He told me that when we were 15, when his parents found out about us, he was forced to promise to break up with me from threat of being sent to live with family abroad. They also threatened to disown him when they kicked him out at 16, as he had essentially chosen me over them. After beginning his career, in order to allow him to rebuild the relationship, he had to promise to support this girl they'd picked out for him. He thought his parents would relent eventually and warm up to me, but that has not happened. And though they acknowledge we're married, they said it wouldn't work out, and he'd have this girl instead. He made a throwaway comment at this time saying she was only there just in case something happened. There was a time not long after he started his career, that I got very sick, and he explained that there were times they thought I wouldn't come back from it. He tried to joke that she was just a backup bride. He doesn't understand why this upsets me so much, that I felt I had committed myself to him for life, but he had this other woman on hand just in case. He has supported me through everything, and my health permitting, I have done the same. He tried to reassure me that it wasn't his plan, and while he did give money, he didn't know the woman personally. He just wanted a relationship with his family. While I can appreciate he wasn't the architect, it still hurts that if anything happens, she is still right there. I tried to ask him if he'd marry her if I did become too ill, and he refused to answer. To me, that says enough. But he got angry when I tried to persist, saying he'd sacrificed a lot for me, and this is definitely true. But I've sacrificed things too. It's been a few days and I can't move past it. He can't even explain why he never told me. He just keeps saying he didn't want me to be upset, that I wasn't supposed to find out, that I'm delicate. He keeps on trying to reconcile and move past it, but I am struggling. He flips between placating me and snapping at me. I'm seriously rethinking our whole marriage. We've been through our ups and downs, but even at our worst, I have never thought about leaving. For me, it's only been him. Maybe in his mind, it's different because my illness has made things less permanent, but my current health problems aren't time sensitive. They can be up or down. I don't know. I need advice. I'm spiraling a bit.
Okay, girl. You are spiraling. You are absolutely correct in that. Let's take a beat. Okay, and really think about this thing. You tripping. Okay. That man love you. That man don't want nobody else but you. These families um have very rigid structures for how they believe um they should perform in their lives. And especially if you have a child who was rebellious off rip, and not even in a bad way, he just wanted to have his own career. He feels like he almost lost his family, and he actually loves his family. So he was like, listen, the only way I'm going to be able to keep my family and you, and this is out of love for you that he did this. As crazy as it sounds, I know some of y'all in the comments are like, what? Out of love for you, he agreed and made this arrangement and is literally paying to keep that lady away, to keep his parents off of his back about you so he can be with you. I want to know what he do. He have room for another on his roster? Because he paying for college educations. He's paying for vacations. He's paying for this lady whole life. Like,
I'll be a backup bride.
You got. But listen, whatever you need me to do, big dog, you need me to come around there and take the trash out every once in a while. I got you. Okay? Need me to knock? Never mind. Anyway. Ma'am, just take a beat. Take a beat. There's nothing in this letter that indicates to me that this man does not love you and only you. I think as crazy as it sounds, the circumstances make it sound like he loves you more than a lot of these other men love their wives. To be honest, because he had nothing but space and opportunity to be cheating on you with this lady. You've been with her for 10 years and you never had any suspicion. Well, she's been with longer than 10 years, but I'm assuming married for 10 years. Because they been together since they was 11, she said, or they known each other. Essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd have lived
they got married at 18.
Else, like, your lives have been intertwined. And all he's done is send a little coin to this lady. I mean, if anybody, you should be mad at his parents because his parents are the ones that arranged this situation. In his parents' eyes, she's always going to be there. So all you got to do is beat the clock, bitch. Once they're out of here, you don't have to worry about it no more. Now, if he's still paying that lady off after they get up off this side of heaven, now you got something to worry about because now this is for him. But as it stands now, it sounds like he's just placating his parents to keep him off his back so he can be happy with you. That's a good man, Savannah. Okay. Let that man be a good man to you. Okay. And until you get some evidence that he is set tripping or doing something behind your back or anything like that, let his parents be annoying.
Yeah.
And let him pay that lady bills. As long as yours are getting paid, as long as he loving you the same way he always has. Because what's the difference between now and the past 10 years? Now you just know.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened in that time. Let it go, sister. Let it go.
For the most part, I'm going to agree with you. I know when I first read it, I was very much like, fuck that guy. Screw him.
Right.
And for me to feel that way, I can only imagine how you're feeling. So with that being said, my suggestion would possibly, like, if you're still, after talking with him, you're still not getting a response you want, you're still feeling conflicted, maybe you need a little bit of separation then to really clear each other's thoughts. I'm not saying look into divorce. I'm not saying talk to a lawyer. I think this is salvageable, if he really is, just if he's only ever seen this lady, when his parents are bringing this lady around, and just the only thing he's done is allowed her to have this education and stuff like that, like, and he hasn't thought of her since then, I agree. Like, I think for your sake, because there is a little bit of a betrayal of not knowing this, of him to have used finances to help this lady without you knowing. There's a little bit of a betrayal in that, and so I understand why you might need to just take a little time. I'm not saying it has to be a long time. Maybe it's just a couple of days, a week. Just give yourself a little bit of time away to really look at things, let your emotions calm down. Because I get what you're saying. At the end of the day, he just, he got kicked out when he was 16. Eventually, he was able to find his way back to his family, but he had to agree to do this thing in order to allow them to have him in his life. And it's like Timmy said, it's a great point. He's essentially paying to have this woman not be in your lives.
For real.
If he's not visiting this apartment, if he's not seeing her or anything like that, then I wouldn't worry too much about it. And the fact that he's paying for her education, who knows? Maybe this lady doesn't want to get married to him either, and she's just taking that free money because...
Say it.
There might, maybe you need to talk to this lady and get her side. For her, growing up in this religion, being told, oh, you need a husband. If I'm being told, we want you to marry this man, but he's marrying this other lady, so you're just going to be on hold, but he's going to pay for everything for you?
Girl.
That sounds like a blessing.
She is living the city girl life.
I don't have to worry about you guys looking for a husband for me, and I can get an education.
And all my shit paid for.
And all my shit is paid for. Like,
and all I got...
I just got to go to a formal event. I just got to go to a formal event every 10 years. Like,
and sit with these old people for a couple hours. Bitch.
Exactly.
How did I get so lucky?
Right. Because as we've learned in some of these religions, especially with both, obviously in this particular religion, they expect them arranged marriages to happen for both men and women. But, for girls, sometimes it's harder because even with men, when they're expected to get arranged marriage, they're still allowed to go and make something of themselves. They're allowed to go get an education. They're allowed to do business and all that stuff. Whereas females, they really try to just marry them off. And then they're done with it,
Mm-hmm.
So me personally, I would see how this girl is, maybe she just wants to be able to get her education and be able to be on her own, so that when the time comes and they're like, okay, we have someone to marry you, she can be like, I'm independent. I have a job. I can take care of myself. I'm going to choose my own husband. So yeah, it was a poor choice for him to joke about, she's there as a replacement bride. That's not funny. That's not. I've had health issues in the past where I could have died. That's not something to joke about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's just some communication that just isn't happening, and they just need to be figured out a little bit. So, I'm
with you.
Yeah. Good luck. I hope you're able to kind of take the time and step back and get more information before any decisions are made.
Please don't make no rash decisions, girl.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. This sound like a good man. Okay. He got the coin. He love you. He ain't never caused you no problems. He done been around your entire life. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all, he been there through thick and thin, sickness and health. Like, don't let this other bitch win. She probably don't even want him like that.
She probably don't even want him.
If you were to kick the bucket tomorrow, she'd be like, God damn it.
I'm still getting my education.
Now I got to love this man too, girl.
I agree. That's what it feels like. Because me personally, I would be like,
devastated.
Right.
Next to your parents, bitch, I'll be the biggest whole boo-hoo in there.
Yeah. She was
Oh, yeah, Lord. Take me instead. Like, now I got to work for this money. God.
Damn.
No, it was too good to be true. Well, thank you for that, Crystal.
You're welcome.
Well, we had a good time on this one here today. And I want to thank you all also for joining us for another episode of the Tea and Crystals podcast. If you like what you heard, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening. Make sure you also leave us a written review. If you like what you saw, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Come enjoy the YouTube community. Get down in them comments, converse with us. If you have any questions, comments, you would like to share your own story with us, or anything that you've seen online that you want us to share on this show, you do so by sending it to our email, teaandcrystal@gmail.com. It's teaandcrystal@gmail.com. You can also send it to our DMs on our various social media platforms. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook by searching Tea and Crystals Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at Tea and Crystals Podcast and on Instagram at Tea and Crystals Pod. You can find those links wherever you are listening and or watching in the description below. Now, Crystal, is there anything else you want to say to the people before we get the hell up out of here?
No, I don't have anything else to say. I was going to try and think of something.
She said, girl, fuck yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, as always, please let us know what your thoughts are in the comments, what you felt about these stories. And we'll see you there with our responses.
Yeah. And I do want to mention, I'm sorry, Crystal, you just jogged my memory. On Spotify, there are times on episodes where there will be polls. The past few episodes, there have been polls. I want y'all to go in there and answer those polls. They're specific to the story, one of the stories that we share. There's another way of interacting with the show and letting us know what you think. And really having some fun over there in the comments over there. There's comment section on podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Go and interact with us over there so I can tell y'all if y'all are right or wrong, depending on how you answer the question. But yes, I'm sorry, Crystal. I did, okay, because we'll drag our fate behind y'all. Okay, if y'all want to see us get the scrapping again, y'all better cause some drama.
I know. I still have to release that TikTok we did. So all those that was months ago, where we just spent 2 hours, I think, arguing, debating, maybe. Yeah, we did a TikTok live. And we never released it, but it was only supposed to be like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and I think it was like 2 hours long.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, so
something y'all might have to look forward to.
Okay,
maybe we'll put a benchmark on it before we release it.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.